This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 93 of the Wisdom by WESA show on the Horse Radio Network. This is Mike Donnell.
I'm Casey Wilbanks-Coletti.
And this is Sophia Aguilar. Welcome to Wisdom by WESA on the Horse Radio Network.
This podcast is brought to you by the Western and English Sales Association, WESA, which provides the world's largest trade events for retailers, manufacturers, and sales representatives of the equestrian industry. In this podcast, we feature exclusive interviews with noteworthy Western and English personalities, retailers, and exhibitors who you've always wanted to talk to. Don't miss out on all the news for manufacturers and retailers in the equine industry. Sophia, you shared some stats about the exhibiting companies at the upcoming WESA trade show. What about the buyers? Can you share any numbers with us?
We just shared the first buyer pre-registration list earlier this week. So this list includes all stores that have already pre-registered to attend the August WESA trade show. And so far it lists almost 300 stores, and we are excited to welcome 89 new stores. So those stores haven't attended a WESA trade show before. So we can't wait to introduce them to the place where the industry meets.
Who has access to the list?
We shared this list with the exhibiting WESA members, so we emailed them with instructions of how to download the list, but it's pretty easy going. You just log in online at wesatrader.com, scroll down to the download section, and then you'll find the first A22 buyer pre-reg list. And also a very important note that I just wanted to share is that WESA members receive this list for free, and you get it as part of your membership as a perk, and you do not have to pay for it. There are some scams out there that we come across every year, and they will ask you to pay for some lists. But again, the WESA list is free.
Speaking of WESA members, it's a busy time for them. Can you share with us what's all going on right now?
So starting this Monday and until September 1st, WESA members can sign up for the January WESA trade show in 2023. So again, just log in online and fill out the contract right there. And don't forget about the additional opportunities. So you could just download the A22 buyer pre-reg list and sign up for the J23 trade show all within one session and just in a few minutes. And again, all of that is available through your account on wesatrader.com.
They say necessity is the mother of invention, and that seems to be the story behind Dovetail Workwear. The company was founded in 2018 by Kate Day, Kyle Marie Begley, and Susan DeLuca. Kate and Kyle Marie started a landscaping business and quickly found the men's work clothes they had to wear did not fit the needs of women working with their hands. One of their clients, who was Susan, had happened to know the apparel industry, and they joined forces. Today, Dovetail is a highly successful brand with more than 300 retailers carrying the line and is about to make its debut at the upcoming WESA show. Kate Day joins us today to tell the Dovetail story. Hey, Kate Day, welcome to the Wisdom by WESA show. We're anxious to learn all about Dovetail. Tell us a bit about how that product concept came about and how the company got started.
I'd be happy to. Yes, I'm one of the 3 female co-founders of Dovetail Workwear, and it really started out of necessity. I had a landscaping business. We're based here in Portland, Oregon, and one of my other co-founders, Kyle Marie, another woman, she and I were garden designers, and we did installation and everything in between. And we're wearing workwear all the time and just having a lot of frustrations with it. One of our clients, Sarah DeLuca, who has was our third founder, she has a lot of experience in apparel. And so working in her yard, redesigning her gardens and so forth, we became close and started talking, and we basically started this little side project of developing a better work pant for the two of us in our gardening business, and really focused on having something that would feel great on our female bodies, would have a ton of function in terms of pockets, would have stretch fabric, a slim fit that looked good on and was easy to work in. We had a million things that we kind of wanted built into these perfect pants. And Sarah had the ability to make them with her apparel background. And that was the beginning of Dovetail Workwear. It really was just a personal project. And then when she made these 3 pants, we got stopped constantly by women on the street or in the nursery or in the store or in the bar who also had physical jobs. There were women in construction. There was a woman makeup artist. There was a fisherman, a female fisherman, and they all had the same exact problems. And so we just slowly but surely did a couple more pairs, did more research, and that is how the business started. And we're now about 4.5 years in, and much, much larger than we ever expected. And it's really because there's been a true gap in the market, and women have a lot of physical jobs in America and do an incredible amount of labor, whether it's in construction or agriculture. Farm and ranch is huge. And they're looking for pants that really work with them and help them do their work better and have the fit they need, the function they need, and the durability. And that's what Dovetail tries to provide.
Well, the company has certainly been successful. I actually want to throw the interview over to Casey. She rides, she rodeos, she has cattle. She's the perfect type of person who would want a pair of pants or would want a line of clothing that has the same, I think as you called it, fit, function, and durability. I'm going to let Casey take it for a bit and talk about how garments like this apply and appeal to women in her lifestyle.
Well, I think you named a lot of different lifestyles, and honestly, more than I've even thought about. Of course, me being farming and ranching, of course, it certainly hits home, and I'm sitting here clicking on all of your links and products, and especially living in Southern Colorado, I can think of warmth as a big thing. Functionality, warmth, and comfort all at the same time would be amazing. I kind of want to start with you talking about some of the organizations you are involved with. There are some really neat organizations on your website, and it's called With Female Empowerment Missions, Like-Mindedness. And honestly, I'm blown away by some of these organizations I've never heard of, but think how neat it is.
Thank you. I'm so happy that you focused in on that, because I'd say, there's a lot of really neat things about this business and this brand. At the end of the day, what we are doing is working on improving women's lives. And yes, we make pants and we make clothes, but we frequently say your clothing should be a tool in your life, and how the woman wears it and uses it is up to her. But you should have something that is kind of on par with the work you do. And whether you're a mother who's on her feet all day, running around after her kids and doing some volunteer work, and you need something that fits well and has a lot of pockets to stash granola bars and, your phone, or you're a woman who is literally in construction, like pouring concrete, and you're out there on these crews doing really physical, super intense work. We often talk about how people in these kinds of trade jobs, they're like elite athletes. We call them industrial athletes. The rigor and the intensity of the physical stuff that they're doing, climbing scaffolding, abrading their fabric against concrete and rebar, carrying heavy duty, like 50-pound, tool belts, sweating, or in extreme cold. They need really premium products. But so it's an incredible spectrum of who we're trying to serve. And so the idea of empowerment for women via apparel, it made a lot of sense to start working with organizations, because there's so many great organizations, and we've really just scratched the surface in terms of who we're partnering with currently. But there's so many great organizations in America that are also working on women's empowerment too. It's just a really aligned mission in terms of what we do and what they do. So examples of the kinds of orgs that we've partnered with are the National Association of Women in Construction, numerous organizations that work with women in farming and agriculture, trades organizations that are training women to go into the trades, which are really phenomenal, well-paying jobs over, a lifetime. Women in Trucking is an incredibly well-organized group that's trying really hard and has been really successful at getting more women behind the wheel to help our supply chain issues and just help, get products to market. So it's been really fun and kind of an alternative way of thinking about business. But women do a great job of supporting each other and lifting each other up. And so working with these organizations has helped us, get the word out about our products and our brands. The more women know. And then we've in turn been able to turn around and support them in whether it's their conferences, whether it's in their fundraising, whether it's in literally just getting our products on their people so that they're better dressed for the jobs and the work that they're doing every day. So it's been a really, really kind of multi-pronged approach in how we think about our business. And it's been really fun to work with some of these organizations across the United States that are trying to help women be in physical and, very successful vocations.
One thing I know for sure, I think we could all testify to the fact that when women have a similar goal and a mission together and they come together, there is no stopping that group, whether these are the organizations, your company itself with the clothes. And so one of the reasons I wanted to zero in on this alone is I used to be heavily involved in marketing products and companies. And to me, if I'm thinking about say I'm a retailer and I'm looking for products to carry in my store, this really gives me a way to go with marketing. There's so much good vibe behind it. There's so many companies behind it. Everybody's coming together, and that would be one thing I would be looking for in carrying products is the best way to market them. And that's one of the biggest things about selling the products is the ability to market them.
You're so right. I mean, it's been a really fun journey in that way. I feel like we often say, the marketing, of course, there's a lot of mechanics, and it's such a complicated world to do marketing now with all of the digital side of it and the traditional side of it. But in another way, it's been a really easy, fun journey in terms of marketing because we're not making anything up. Like the whole approach with our brand is just, I always say, we're just putting a spotlight on women. Like, and especially you were talking about your personal experience in ranching communities. Like, we've had this whole kind of awakening around women in farm and ranch and just how much they're sort of making the wheels turn in America. I mean, so many women, so capable, so many skills and abilities. And, we just have realized like we don't have to make any of this up. Women are doing these things and they're often doing it quietly and capably and in collaboration and just, sort of like the spine of so many communities. And I think ranch women in particular are just a prime example of that. They're not asking for, a lot of attention. They just roll their sleeves up and get the work done.
Yeah,
and
just do the work. Yeah.
This is actually why we developed a ranch collection. It's one of our more recent product lines. And it was, again, we do a lot of research. We do continuous research in the field. The array of kinds of jobs that women are doing these days in the United States is endless. It's so inspiring. And then once we do make products, we want to know that the product is as good as it possibly can be for the woman using it. And I was out doing some field research, visiting some of our farm and ranch accounts in the West. And I just noticed that pretty much every woman we interacted with had a bootcut pant on. And we didn't have a bootcut in our line at that time. And I said, we were just missing a huge swath of women in the country that like this style. And this is a really traditional work style. Let's make something. So we went to the drawing board and said, let's make a bootcut, but let's make a bootcut that a woman has never really encountered before, that has much deeper function and durability and fit in it. And so it has the silhouette of that long, tall drink of water and, has the stack over her cowgirl boots, but she also has like 10 pockets built into it. There's a tool loop in it. It has a high rear rise. It has an elastic waistband for comfort. The fabric itself is denim and it looks like your true blue classic bootcut, but it's got Cordura built into it. So it will last for years and put up with all of the abrasion and wear and tear as people are mending their fences and riding horses, and really trying to put something out there that people see and know, but then they get it on. It's like, wow, this is so much better than anything I've ever worn before. And I can do my work and I can live my life better in it. So we're pretty excited about that. And it's doing really, really well.
As you were talking and sharing all that with us, there's a link on the website and it says dirt. And so I clicked on the dirt and we go to a bunch of beautiful pictures of women doing various activities, lots of hard work. And it says a sweaty, greasy, grimy blog. And it's so cool. And I'm kind of just go through it now, and you kind of hover over each picture, and it'll tell you the woman's name and what she's doing. And can you just share kind of your vision with this?
Sure. I mean, it again, this theme of like, we haven't really had to go searching or conjuring for any of this content. Like, there's not enough hours in the day or time in the year really to feature all the women and showcase and tell stories about all the incredible things that are going on around us with women in community and on teams and on crews and on sites and on farms. So the blog called The Dirt is just one of our ways of doing this storytelling. And, for example, I'm on it right now too. And there is the blog about Kelsey Ducheneau and Jen Zeller, and they are two of the women that are on the DX Ranch. It's a Sioux Lakota 5th generation ranch, women run more or less, in South Dakota. And they're the women that helped us basically develop this ranch line of pants and tops that we developed, because they're doing it every day. Jen Zeller is one of the women on the ranch. She raises cattle. She's the vet. She does barrel racing in the summertime. Their stories are things that you could never make up. And all we really want to do is, honor their words and hear their stories and hear about their lives. And a lot of the blog tries to also say, like, how did you get to what you're doing now? And what do you find purposeful, so that other people can read it and be inspired by it and feel some sense of community with the women that they're reading about. And, I think it's just, we love talking about how feminism and, being a female means a lot of things. And we're trying to just show that women can show up in so many ways and do such rugged and intense, even gritty and really dirty work, but still be totally feminine. And also that they can feel good in what they're wearing. They can feel feminine and have style and feel like they look like $1 million, but head out and do the most intense, crazy, dirty work and still just be that woman that's showing up. So I feel like, the blog is our way of letting them talk about how they do that and how Dovetail helps them kind of be the best.
I think Mike would agree with me. When there's such a great product and such great pictures and such a great mission behind it, it makes marketability really easy. Wouldn't you love the opportunity, Mike?
Well, and I'm thinking if I'm not one of the 300 retailers that are carrying your products, but I'm listening to this show and I'm thinking I'm missing a market. I need to talk to those people at Dovetail and see if I can become one of their retailers. So the question is, A, how do they reach out to you? And B, do you have any particular criteria or qualifications that you want in the retailers, new retailers carrying your line?
Thank you for asking. I really appreciate that. We're really, really interested in being in retail. People's buying habits are changing a lot, and more people are getting comfortable buying online. And you can find our entire product line and our story and our brand and our partnerships on our website, which is www.dovetailworkwear.com. But, a woman ideally really loves to try on product and see what fits and what works and feel the fabric and try different styles. And so we're very, very committed to being in retail accounts across the country, and we want to be in more, and we want to be available. We want to eventually be a household name for women who work. So I think, reach out to me. I help head up sales, and I'm Kate at dovetailworkwear.com. We carry small, very small mom and pop outdoor or farm and ranch accounts to big multi-door accounts, where we don't discriminate. You just kind of have to go through a couple basic, forms to check credit and get on board. And then we do a really, really good job supporting our accounts with what they need in terms of, fixtures and clinicking and getting the right product mix. We have an amazing kind of infrastructure for that. So please do reach out to us. And I do want to make sure to put a plug in. Speaking of WESA, we're going to be at a WESA show. We have two wonderful reps. Their agency is called Betty Sport, and they're in Texas. And they actually have a showroom at the Dallas Market Center where the WESA show is going to be. So this August 25th through 28th, If you stop by Betty Sports showroom, and their number of their showroom is number 7416, they're going to be showing the Dovetail line. They have a gorgeous showroom. They have a lot of our product. They're total professionals. It's Katie at bettysport.com and Stephanie at bettysport.com if for some reason you're not at the show and you'd like to learn more. And they can really help people, see the line and understand if it's an account in that region. They're the rep to talk to. And we're going to be in the fashion show at the WESA show as well, so people will be able to see our products on body. Some of these boot cut pants that I'm talking about, along with some wonderful overalls we have. We have some gorgeous outerwear. We're really a head-to-toe brand, although our specialty is pants because it's such a critical part of a work wardrobe. So you can reach us in a number of ways, whether it's website or through our reps or through me directly, but we are available, we are in business, and we are trying to really help build the women's workwear category that's really been overlooked for too long. And, I can say in an unbiased way, especially the farm and ranch accounts that we're in the West that brought us in very early, we have been sort of the flagship brand that has really driven more women into their doors looking for workwear because they know about Dovetail or they've met someone who has Dovetail on and they come in looking for it. And it's helping them round out and build a true women's workwear section or department in their store. And, some of the feedback we're hearing from some of our sales reps is this is what people are talking about at conferences and professionally, is that there's this market that's really been underserved and women are hungry for it. They need it. They deserve it. And there's, a range of brands out there, and Dovetail is kind of the number one brand that women, once they get on the size and the style they like, they write to us a lot and tell us that they have found their people and their kind of customers for life and feel really gratified and appreciative that there's something that honors the work that they do. So it's been a pretty fun, wonderful, crazy ride, and we're just really getting started.
And it sounds like you're enjoying it. One of the things we talked about when we did a little pre-interview, and I asked you about, was the origin of the name. And how that came about, and I thought it was an interesting perspective on the business and your the way you approach things, how you came about the name Dovetail, which does or doesn't mean anything related to women's work fashion.
Yeah, we, when we first started out, there was no business intent. Like I said, we just wanted a couple pairs of pants that were better for us as women working in, a physical industry. And so we didn't really have a name for a long time. And then when we finally said, okay, we're leaving our other jobs behind, we're fully committing to this, what is this business going to be? We spent a lot of time looking at a lot of words and trying to, try it on and see what fits, so to speak. And the word dovetail finally just really rose to the top and made so much sense because dovetail is a term for a custom joint in carpentry. It's a way of building, say, chairs or tables, and you build this joint and it has this kind of angular geometry to it, and you don't have to use glue or nails or anything. It basically just means perfect fit. And so when that hit us, what the joint means, talking about women who are doing something, say, with their hands, the idea of perfect fit, even the connotation of femininity that comes with dove, the peacefulness of the association with dove, it hits so many points and it just kind of rolls off the tongue in a nice way. That became the name of the brand, and we've really never looked back, and it suits us very, very well.
Oh, I think it suits you absolutely wonderfully. It's a name that's easy to remember. It's just, the Dovetail is truly an American business success story. You discovered a niche. You actually were the niche, and then discovered there was more women in the niche than you, and it came up with a product to fill that niche, and then put together a pretty solid business to take advantage of it in terms of product design, marketing, distribution, working with other working women organizations. To me, the marketing platform for Dovetail is just wonderful based on the market you're trying to reach, and I'm sure that it's paying very high dividends and is an excellent business success story for people who are studying marketing.
Thank you so much. Agreed. Yep, it's been it's a pretty wonderful way to, sometimes going into a business without meaning to start a business, but because there's such a need, is a great way to, get involved. And then just the community of women and the inspiration of the people that we're working for and working with every day is just what is such an incredible motivation. So yeah, it's a pretty fun and honorable thing to be involved in.
Well, and we thank you for being on the Wisdom by WESA podcast to share that story. We wish you the best luck in the upcoming show. I'm certain that it will be a success for you and introduce you to others in the market who you need to see and who need to see you, and everybody else who isn't going to be at that show, or if they are and get the chance to listen to our show, they're going to know a lot more about what Dovetail really is and what it stands for. So thanks for spending the time with us.
My pleasure. Thank you for listening to our story, and we're really excited to be at the WESA show, so come find us.
Okay. Show notes and links from today's show can be found at wisdombywesa.com. And of course, we'd always like to hear your feedback. There's a contact link on that website if you'd care to share some thoughts with us.
The Wisdom by WESA show will be published on the 15th and 30th of every month. You can listen on most of your favorite podcast players, and you can also listen on the Horse Radio Network app on your iOS or Android phone. You just search Horse Radio Network in the App Store. It's free and super easy to use. Be sure to visit all the great shows on the Horse Radio Network at horseradionetwork.com. Thanks for listening to the Wisdom by WESA podcast. WESA, where the industry meets.